name is Alicia Shannon, and I basically take care of Chris. That's what I do for work. Pretty much takes up all my time. I have one child that I take care of. I used to have a daycare. For 10 years, I had a daycare in my house. I had 6 kids that I looked after, and now I have one special needs child that comes once a week.
Chris Shannon. My work is I work for a company called Retro Manufacturing. I do product development. I'm a product designer for a car audio company.
Since the accident, basically, our lives completely changed. And like I said, I had a daycare full time in my house, and we did sports, we did church, youth group, and basically kind of typical activities every week. And now we do therapy and doctor's appointments. And Chris is 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. He's totally dependent. So I bathe him, I clean, help him toilet, I feed him. That includes blending up food for him, then pushing it into his G-tube. Like I said, we have therapy, we have physical therapy 3 times a week. We have occupational therapy twice a week. We have speech therapy once a week. We have school 5 hours a week. A teacher comes to the house and works with him. He's now at more of a typical 11th grade level, but she has to work with his device that helps him to communicate.
You have to actually hold it for a second, because for him to do it, he has to pick what he wants to do by holding it for a second.
I guess to put it in easier terms, almost like having a newborn baby. You have to make sure he's fed on time and have to make sure he's clean, happy, comfortable. So the routines are more of a normal. Our morning requires, if you start the morning, is feeding him, making sure he's clean and comfortable. Then we work on communication stuff. So it is actually a lot like just having a newborn, where you're taking care of and teaching and trying to learn new skills. Or for Chris, it's relearning old skills.
So basically, he was healthy, very healthy. And then he was hit by a car. At the scene, he was devastated, is one of the words that's used. He was in ICU for 8 weeks. He's had 9 brain surgeries. And he wasn't expected to even make it through. So the fact that he made it through those surgeries and has come so far, he is actually now communicating a little bit with his communication device using his eyes. It's an eye gaze computer. He is more and more expressive. His facial muscles are kind of coming back, where he doesn't smile, but he can definitely grimace when he's mad. You can see when he's mad or when he's a little bit happy. So he'll kind of just have like the slightest hint of a grin.
You can see times where he is trying more to communicate with the computer he has. He's trying to communicate more and more. When he's in his chair, he holds himself up.
Because with his braces on, he's just too tall and he's falling over the top of him.
He's acting, trying to hold his head up and keep his body under control.
Learning how to take care of him was a huge struggle. We didn't even think we could do when we came home. So a lot of education, and the people in different areas and helped us learn about it and strengthened us. And he's working so hard. He's an inspiration to us. How can we not do those things if he's working so hard, if he's still with us, if he's making effort? I've tried to control this computer with my eyes. It's exhausting, and he's pushing through. I think it's impacted a lot of people. And when you throw a pebble in the pond, your ripples go out. 3 years ago, when he was hit, he was so friendly and so outgoing. He had multiple communities. So he had his school community, he had his swim community, he had his church community, and then his neighborhood. It was a pretty big pebble in the pond, especially right when it happened.
Life can change. Life can go from easy to all of a sudden you have this whole new part of your world that you're trying to deal with.
Chris shouldn't have lived, statistically. He coded twice. Kids don't code unless they're done. Unless their body is so traumatized that all their systems are giving up. And his body did that twice. And he came back twice. And then survived 9 brain surgeries. And we all want to know when we suffer like that there's a reason.
I think he understands that it's nobody wanted this. And so, yes, I'm sure he's a little disappointed and depressed about it at times. And you can kind of see it in his body language. But the fact that we help him out and we're there for him, we're in it together. I think my relationship doesn't realize it. He realizes I'm still his dad. I'm still the same guy. He's still the same guy. We're still in this together. We were before. We are now. We're still going to be forever. So if anything, I think it bonded us a little more in the sense that it just shows us that no matter what, we're still who we are. He's still my son. I'm still his dad. That's not going to change.
His new speech therapist wants to get a special scope done to ensure that he physically doesn't have anything preventing him from speaking. We met with a new surgeon, and she was really excited that we were there because she and the speech therapist at the hospital are trying to create a program that the hospital can use their equipment in the community. And what they needed was a patient from the community that needed it done. And here comes Chris. I was at a really low point. I get tired. I need encouragement. I want to see that his journey is important and it's affecting people. And so we go to what I think is just another doctor's appointment, and she shares with me that he's just what they needed. I'm crying out, why is this taking so long? I want full recovery. And I feel like God's saying, my time, my way, there's still work to be done right here, right now. And so now, because Chris needs this scope done, this program at UMC is moving forward. And then I was able to share back with her, hey, I was at a really low point and I needed to see some purpose for this struggle. And you've told me that his difficulty and his needs are going to help children in the future get what they need. Okay, good. Another accomplishment. It's constantly throwing those pebbles in the pond and watching the ripples. You don't always get to see exactly how it impacts people, but I'm so grateful that people will share with me when they have the opportunity.
Tragedy doesn't mean the end. It just means your normal will change. It's still you now. You just have a new normal. So now we're going to work from this normal we have now. And I think people are inspired by the fact that they see that we can change, and that by us accepting the new normal, we move Chris forward.
I hope that he would dream of having a family. He loves kids. He's always loved babies so much. And old people, honestly, he would go to the oldest person in the room and sit with them and hear their stories. And just, he really enjoyed it. And I don't see that being wasted. Those are special traits in people. And I believe that Chris is going to have a full recovery, that he's going to have a full life with a family and a career, and he's going to impact the world. He's like, yeah, I'm an inspiration every day. He's like, if you know me, you're inspired.